Hi, today I'm going to do a review on our new Intech solar camp shower. Now basically this is a 5 gallon. It's more or less just a black vinyl bag that you fill up with water, you set in the sun, and it's supposed to warm up the water so you can take a shower. Now this is no different than pretty much any of the other ones, with a couple exceptions. I'm going to tell you the good and bad things about these. Let's start off with the good. This one itself has a nice solid plastic handle here. I mean, it is really solid, really heavy duty. As you can see, it's pretty big. It holds 5 gallons. A lot of them come with small string. This is actually much bigger, and the hook, I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but the hook is much heavier duty than most of the ones you buy that come with these. It has a good long 3-foot string, and what I do is I just take it, slip it through the handle, slip the string through, and let me get this real quick. This plastic is really tough. It's really solid. There we go. And I just kind of flip the string through, put the handle, and give it a good tug. Since this is solid here, this plastic, it's really sturdy, and I just tie a knot on the end here and just hang it on something. That's good. The string thickness, the thickness of the hook, and the thickness right here of the plastic handle. I have seen some online where you have to stick a piece of PVC pipe to try to hold it. They're weak. They're not very thick. This one's extremely thick. I don't know if you can see that. The plastic all the way around here. It's on both sides. Now I paid less than $5 for this, I believe. I believe it's like $4.97 with free shipping off of eBay. So that's one of the good advantages to one of these here compared to some of the other ones, is the handle, the thickness of the string, and the thickness of the hook. It's a lot bigger than some of the ones I've seen. Now for the disadvantages. Like any other portable shower that fills up at the top, it's hard to fill. You basically need to fill this with a water hose. If you try to fill it in a sink, you won't get it all the way full. If you're taking it camping with you, basically you're going to have to dunk this in a river or a lake to try to fill it up and hold it down, fill it up and then lift it up and then stop it off. So unless you have access to a water hose, most camp showers you're still going to have to get in the water, or you're going to have some type of funnel and an extra pair of hands to fill this up. I mean, one person with a hose, yes. With a funnel and dumping water in here, it's not so easy. Like most of them, it comes with just a cheap plastic hose. Now my hose has 2 kinks in it, and hopefully it'll eventually wear out. That will restrict the flow. The handle, the shutoff, is right here at the top. Now that's another bad thing. If you're going to be using this in like a shower room or somewhere that for an emergency situation, I mean, this is like a 2.5, this is like a 2 foot hose. It has to be really high. I mean, I'm reaching as high as I can reach right now, and I'm standing on my tippy toes. And see how far down this hose comes? So you have to be really low, or this bag has to be really super high. And for them to put the shutoff right here at the bag, to me that's just really dumb. If they were going to do that, they actually should have put another shutoff right down here. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get a connector. I'm going to cut this hose, and I'm going to end up probably moving this down to close to the shower end, the shutoff, because this makes no sense. More or less all of them are like this, to where the shutoff is somewhere close to the top of the bag, or the bottom of the bag, but the top of the hose. If you're out in the woods and this is hanging in a tree high enough to where you're actually under this, you're not going to reach this shutoff. So you either have to be really low, or you have to be able to reach the shutoff to turn it on, or someone else has to turn it on for you. Okay? Like I said, as far as the bag ones go, this is built really sturdy. It has a heavy duty handle. You don't have to put a piece of pipe across it to try to hold it. When full, this thing weighs quite a bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up in my sink as much as possible. And like I said, it's really hard to do with one person, especially in a sink. It's not going to get full all the way this way. If I had a water hose that I could fill it up with, yes, I could fill it all the way up. But unfortunately, the only hose I have is on my wash machine, and I'm not going to unhook that. So anyway, I'm going to fill this up as best as I can fill it, and we're going to see how well it works today. Now, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to get a sink to work with this. You can see a lot of water. I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of water is coming out. Now I stuck my sink all the way in the bag. Of course, I'm not going to fill this up all the way. It will not fill up all the way before it starts coming out the top. I am using straight cold water. There's no hot water turned on at all. This is straight cold. Now, most people could probably get a shower with half this bag. The longer it sits in the sun, the warmer it's going to get. The only thing I don't like about this bag, other than the hose, and the way it's actually made, I would prefer they made the bag to where it was long going sideways instead of up and down. That would give you more room to get up underneath it. This has a push cap, not a screw-on cap. It's a push cap. And it does weigh a lot. It weighs like 40, 45 pounds full. Alright, water's coming out the top. Now it's still filling some, but water's coming out. In fact, a lot of water's coming out. Now if I stood this up, you can see right here, I can stick my finger in. The water's only to about here. I don't know if you can see that. About 1.5 inches below the cap. Now this is the cap. Has a push-in cap. And you can tell it is heavy. Okay? I probably have 3 3/4 to 4 gallons of water in there right now. The one difference between this and some of the other ones I've seen, this bag is black on both sides. It's solid black all the way around. Unlike some where you see part of it's black, part is clear. The material on this is extremely thick compared to some of the other ones. Now, we have not used this. This is my first time using this, actually putting it out in the sun. It is 7:40 a.m. I'm in Missoula, Montana. So the sun's not going to be out all day long. But I'm going to set this outside for a couple hours. And then I'm going to check the temperature of it. Or I'm just going to see if it's warm enough to shower with, basically. And like I said, it is really heavy. And you can tell how thick this is. It's good thick material. Alright, let me set this outside, and then it is really heavy. If you're by yourself, there are other ways to get camp showers. Anything that's black out in the sun is going to warm up and heat. So you can watch my other videos on how to make emergency showers. But we're going to see how well this heats up. Once again, it is 7:41 a.m. You can't see my stove there, but that's what time it is. And I will come back probably about 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock, after it's been outside. And I'll show you if it warmed up any at all. Alright, I will be back. Okay, I'm back with my review on this solar water bag. I did put it out at like 7 something this morning. Of course, the sun wasn't up really. Unfortunately, a big cloud came over. It is now 1:24. So it's actually only been out in the sun, directly in sunshine, for just over an hour, hour and a half. So we're going to see how well it did in that amount of time. Okay, as you can see, let me raise this up. Hopefully you can get a good glimpse of how high it is. So you can see it's pretty high up, and the hose is pretty low. So let's see if this did any good in the amount of time it is out there. As you can tell, it doesn't have a lot of pressure here. Well, it is warmer than what it was. Personally, I would prefer it to be warmer than this. I did lay it down. When I took it out, I opened the cap got as much air out as I could and reclosed the cap. Could I shower with this? Maybe. It's still a little cool for me. It's starting to warm up just a little bit. If you like cool showers, this would work perfectly. I think one of the reasons was the bag was so full, there wasn't a lot of sun. I mean, the bag itself is hot. As you can tell, I mean, if you lift it up and try to shower, you're going to lose your pressure. So it has to be low. The lower it is, the more pressure coming out of the end you have. Yeah, it's warming up a little bit, but not much. Now, if I would have taken that and laid it on top of my van, where the van is hot, then it probably would have heated up much more. When I took it out, I laid it on a cement slab outside. The cement was cold. So if you can leave it out in the sun for hours, it'll definitely work. It is warming up a little. But like I said, I put it out there at 7 something this morning. The sun was behind a cloud up to like an hour and a half ago. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. So the sun did hit it. But as far as warming up, it's not warm enough for me to get a shower. It may be warm enough for somebody else. Now suppose you don't want to buy one of these. How do you warm up water outside without a camp stove or, wasting fuel? Can you use the sun to warm up water? The answer to that is yes. But it also depends on how much water you're trying to warm up. This is 5 gallons. That's a lot of water. If I would have filled it halfway up, it'd probably be a lot hotter than it is now. So what I did is I made a couple little makeshift showers out of just regular soda bottles. This is a 2-liter bottle, and this is a 1-liter bottle. And what I did was I wrapped them up with electrical tape. You don't have to do this. If you want to make one of these, all you have to do is paint it black. And I drilled some small holes in the top. I actually should have drilled less holes because the amount of water that's in here, basically 3 holes in this one would be enough, maybe even 2, and 3 to 4 holes in this one. Now I have 5 holes in this. I have 7 holes in this one, in the 2-liter. Now I wrapped tape in it. Now I put these out well over an hour after I put this bag outside. Oh yeah, that is much, much warmer. And if you see it, it's barely dripping. It's not dripping at all. You squeeze it, and there's your shower. And once you let go of it, it stops. Now if you want to make one of these, like I said, I have 5 holes in this one. What you could always do is, if you wrap it in tape or paint it black and then wrap a couple pieces of tape around it and put some string on it or some rope. Now I did not have to go all the way to the bottom. I went pretty close to the bottom, as far up as I could on top. Now remember, this is just a 1-liter bottle, so it is much warmer than this 5-gallon bag. Oh yeah, I could definitely get a shower over that. Now for the 2-liter. I don't know if you can see the holes. Let's see how warm this is. Oh yeah, it's definitely warm enough to get a shower. And these bottles have only been outside, let's see, hour and a half, from 7, almost 8 is when I put the bag out. 7:41, 8:41, about 9 o'clock, and it's 1:30 now. That is definitely warm enough to get a shower. Now look at that. It's still going, and then it stops. You just squeeze it. That's how you make yourself a shower. This lightweight, and you can still unscrew the top. This you can actually store water in. This you can't store drinking water in. You cannot. It says that in the warning. And you can always put another soda cap on it, and just carry these caps with you with the holes in it, and just replace them when you need a shower. Leave this outside. Unfortunately, our 2-liter was a little bit caved in. This is one I actually had thrown away, and you can see some indentions in it. This is 2 liters. Okay, that's not a lot of water to shower with. If these are empty, they weigh next to nothing. You just tie a rope around the top of it, tie it onto your backpack, or throw it in your vehicle. If they're empty, they weigh nothing. That is definitely enough for me to get a shower with. It's definitely warm enough. So, let's check the little one again. Alright, the water right now is right to about here. Oh yeah, definitely much, much warmer than this. Is this worth it? It could be. Alright. Oh yeah, that's definitely nice and warm. Okay. Once again, you don't have to use electrical tape if you want to make a makeshift shower. I've shown you other ways to make showers, but you have to add warm water to it or hot water to them. These, make a couple of these up. Paint them black. You don't even have to use electrical tape. I used electrical tape because, one, I don't have any black paint, and I have plenty of electrical tape around the house. These got so much warmer, so much quicker. This one and this one actually got about the same heat. And this is a 1 liter, this is a 2 liter. This, it's cool. It's not as cold as it was, I admit that, because our tap water is extremely cold. Where we live, we're on a water well, so it's really cold. But this has been outside since almost 8 o'clock this morning, and it's already 1:30. It's been laying out. Is this worth it? Once again, maybe. And I mean, look how high you have to go with that. I already showed you how high. And as high as this bag is, I mean, I would have to actually be down this high, or under to get a shower. So there's not a lot of room. And I understand some people swear about these bags, say they're great. We purchased one because we wanted to have an outdoor shower. Once we get our property paid off, we're going to be going up there for a week. So we bought this shower bag. I have a shower tent coming. We're going to be sleeping in my van. So you know, we're going to be up there for a week and we need a way to have showers. Unfortunately, I may just leave this at home because as high as it has to be to actually drain, you have to get up under it. I may just make 3 or 4 of these, fill them up with water, leave them outside, let the sun warm it up, and we have shower water. What I will probably do is I will probably remake the caps for these the next time we empty some sodas. I'll probably put 4 holes in this one and probably 3 holes in this one. But I'll probably end up making more of these, the 2 liters. Are solar showers a good idea? Definitely. If you have direct sunlight, if the sun is out for hours at a time, it's a great idea. But this is my review on this. Would I use this like on a camping trip? There's no way. It's hard to fill up. By the time you get it up in the air to where you can get up underneath it for the shower, you can't get to the nozzle to shut it off and on. There are some showers out there that are made that have to shut off down here at the bottom on the head. They're way more expensive. But I figured, you know what, I'd go ahead and check this today. Before I did anything with it, I did clean it with 1 tablespoon of baking soda and warm water. That is a warning that they tell you when you get one of these. You have to clean the inside. Yeah, I could handle this. I prefer not to. My girlfriend, she could handle this. She doesn't like her showers as warm as me. I mean, it's cool. It's not downright cold like it was. It's cool. But as long as it's been outside, laying out in the yard, facing, you know, up, where the sun could hit it, I think this should actually be a little bit warmer. Like I said, an hour and a half after I put that out, I set these out. That was an hour and a half later. These did so much better. So, if you're wanting showers, get 4 or 5 2 liters. Fill them up. You know, make some shower holes in the top. And what I did was, when I set them outside, I already had the holes in it, I just put some electrical tape on the top to seal the holes up to keep the heat in. But make 4 or 5 of these. I mean, that will give you plenty of shower water. These will heat up much quicker because there's less water. And when you're in your shower tent, you just use these. Like I said, I mean, you saw when I held it upside down, it would drip a little bit then stop. And then if you squeezed it, the water would come out. Something like this, if you're in a shower tent, and this is on the outside hung up somewhere, somebody else has to turn it off or on. Or you do, and then you have to get in your shower tent, and the whole time this is running. Yes, this is not nearly hot enough for me. I mean, like I said, it's cool. It's not super cold, but it's not warm either. I wouldn't even say this is room temperature. And for the amount of time it stayed outside, this should really be hot by all the reviews you get on these. It's not. You're more than welcome to buy one. It was like $5 with free shipping if you want to try it yourself. If you live in an area with a lot of direct sunlight, it may be worth it to you. Once again, if I laid this on the roof of my van where the metal's hot and it was out in the sun, it probably would have heated up much more. But since it was laying on the ground, out there on a piece of cement, it didn't warm up like everybody says they do. The one advantage to this type, this one right here, is this is built much better than some of the other ones I've seen online, some of the ones I've seen in stores. where you get the ones with the clear side on one side and the black side on the other side, a lot of them tend to leak. So this hasn't leaked one bit. Yeah, it's a little warmer than what it was, but not by much. I think the water that was on top, when I lifted it up, more or less went to the top, but it's still not hot. Once again, if you want a shower, maybe grab a couple 2-liter jugs, 2 or 3 of them, and you can always just change the cap. Once you get a shower cap, you can change it to each one of those jugs, each one of these bottles. Paint it black, wrap electrical tape around it. That's what I did. I went through an entire full roll of electrical tape, a decent sized roll. It was cheap dollar store electrical tape on both of these. So that's a 2-liter and a 1-liter, or make a 2-liter and 1-liter. Make the 1-liter, you know, put a rope on it, hang it up. Make a 2-liter, put a rope on it, hang it up. And that way, you can get wet with the 1-liter, soak down real good, shampoo up, and then rinse yourself off with a 2-liter. That'll give you more water to rinse off with. But like I said, is this worth it? Is it worth $5? It was $4 and something, I believe, was free shipping, $4.79 or $4.97, something like that. Once again, it depends on you. It depends. Are you willing to have somebody out there that's going to climb a tree to turn this off and on, or are you going to willing to take a chance and see if it'll warm up if the sun goes behind a cloud for an hour, hour and a half? I mean, it's almost 2. It's 1:43 in the afternoon. I set it out before 8 o'clock this morning. The sun was already coming up, but it went behind a cloud, and I mean, it's hot outside. So, would I recommend it? Personally, I wouldn't. But there are people that swear by these. Once again, a DIY project is much better than spending your money and getting something that may or may not work. The key to heating water outside, if you have to do it in a container of some type, smaller amounts of water, they do heat. That's 5 gallons. You know, think about it this way. If you took a 5-gallon bucket and painted it black, put the lid on it and set it outside, how long would it take that 5 gallons of water to heat? It'd take quite a while, and it'd have to be in direct sunlight for hours. It would maybe warm up a little bit, but it wouldn't heat up. I think this just has too much water in it. If you want to try these, fill it halfway up. Your average person can get a shower with 2.5 gallons of water. Fill it halfway up, try to get the air out, lay it down, get the air out, and then cap it again. And that way, it won't have to heat as much water. 5 gallons to me is too much as far as heating it outside, just laying it outside. Once again, this was nice right here. This was just a little bit warmer, not by much, than this, but they were both warm. They were both good enough for showers. Like I said, you don't have to wrap in electrical tape. Get a hold of some black paint, paint it if that's what you want. Like I said, one of the reasons I used electrical tape was, 1, I have electrical tape. 2, and most people don't think about this, depends on the paint you use. you don't want a paint that obstructs it from being able to be squeezed. Some paint will harden up, it'll start to chip. A lot of paint won't stick to plastic, but that's up to you. I mean, you're looking at $2, $3, $4, $5 for electrical tape to make probably 3 of these. But most people have 2 liters, and it got hot much faster than this bag, and this bag can't be put up unless it's completely dry. I just brought this bag in. It was outside for 2 days, actually maybe even 3, since we got it. And I did clean it the first day. I hung it outside because it smelled really bad. It had a stench to it. I cleaned the inside. Remember, you have to clean the inside of those with baking soda, 1 tablespoon, and warm water. You have to swish it around in there really good, and then dump it out and rinse it out really good and get all that baking soda out. But it has to be completely dry. And it's been outside for a couple days. And right here, there's still air bubbles. There's still water. In the hose, there's still water. Up here, there's still water. See, now it's warming up. Now, I could probably get a shower with this. But, I mean, it's right here at the bottom of the bag. Yeah, that feels nice right there. Right here is about the temperature that these bottles were. But I'm looking at the water in the bag and I'm like, there's probably no more water in there than fits in maybe a little bit more than the 1 liter. So, if you want to leave it outside for a good, I don't know, all day long. If you stick it outside, leave it out in the sun all day long where the sun passes over. In the morning it comes, it passes over, and it hits it in the evening till about 6 o'clock at night. Yeah, that would probably work even with 5 gallons. But if you need something to shower with within a couple hours, I don't know, even 4 or 5 hours, I don't recommend the bag. I recommend something smaller. They do make smaller shower bags. Now, you can always just go to any Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and buy one of those pumps, a sprayer pump, to take showers with. Now, you can paint that black and set it outside and it'll warm the water up. It's no different than the bottles. But those pump sprayers are pressurized and they go through water much quicker. But once again, that's up to you. It's whatever you decide to do. Oh yeah, that's nice now. It's nice. But thinking about how low that has to be, how long it has to stay out, just pop this, let air get in there. I would much rather have 3 or even 4 2-liter bottles wrapped up with tape sitting outside to where I can take them in with the shower and I can just shower myself off with it. Because unless you squeeze that bottle, that water's really not coming out. I did use a little drill bit. Please don't ask what size because I couldn't tell you. The smaller the hole, the better when it comes to keeping the water in. And you're probably going, well, you have that rubber or plastic in there. This one has it. This one doesn't. Little rubber piece in there that usually comes in sodas. And this one doesn't have one. It's already taken out. And they both work about the same. Once again, that's up to you. But my review on this shower bag, unless you actually want to leave it out for 8-9 hours, it's a no. I mean, it is ours. We did buy it. Um, this is my first time checking it. Like I said, we're wanting to go on a trip next year to our property once it's paid off, and we'll be up there a week. So coming up with a way to shower is one of the top priorities, because we'll be sleeping in the van. Will I take this bag? Probably not. Will I take some 2-liter bottles? Probably. I may even go as far as getting a couple 3 liters, but the 2 liters seem to work okay. They're not so heavy. They work just fine. My review on the bag's heavy duty, is sturdy. It does hold 5 gallons of water. It's hard to fill up. The shutoff is close to the bag, and to get the bag high enough to get underneath it, you have to really be high. I mean, it's way up there. I apologize for the length of this video. I appreciate you watching. And maybe instead of spending your money on a bag like this for camping or hunting or whatever, take a couple 2-liter bottles with you. Tie them on your backpack. I mean, they weigh next to nothing. You can also make one using like a hot water bottle, but those cost a lot of money. My advice, if you want a massive amount of water and you have hours upon hours to spend waiting on that water, yeah, it's possible. The water did get warmer the lower it went. So when it first started, it was cool. Not super cold, but cool. And the lower the water went, the warmer the water got. In the end, it basically felt about the same as the 2-liter and the 1-liter. My review is no. For, like I said, for various reasons. 1, the way you have to fill it is hard to fill up. 2, it's extremely heavy. I mean, it weighs a lot. It took everything I had to just get it up there, and I have a metal bar up there it's hanging on, and it took everything I had to get it up there. So unless you have some rope you can tie to it and pull it up over a tree branch or something, you're not going to have somebody holding that to take a shower, so another person can take a shower with. There's no way. 2, where the shutoff is, if it was on the other end, closer to the shower head, that would be a major plus for me, but it's not. 3, the hose length. This is a gravity fed or gravity drain system. The hose is too low to actually be any use unless you're sitting on the floor, or it is way up or raised up and you're sitting down. When I lifted it up to here, it slowed down. Even if I'm sitting in a chair, my head's probably a little bit higher than that. So the higher it is, the slower it goes. But as far as my review on it, would we buy another one? No. Of any of these. It's just so easy to just make something that you can use. I have seen shower heads that actually fit on 2-liter bottles that you can buy online, but the amount of water that they lose, you just go through too much water. If you want to make one or have a shower type, just make your own shower head. Use a really small drill bit, smallest one you can get your hands on. Drill some holes in the lid and you got it made. Now, this video is really long. I do apologize. I'm seriously sorry for this. Um, once again, the DIY do-it-yourself stuff is just as good, if not better. When you're heating water outside in the sun, smaller amounts of water do heat a lot quicker. And like I said, if I had all day to leave that out, I mean, it's 2 o'clock almost in the afternoon. It's been out since 7:40 this morning. So they say 3 hours on most of these bags. I would go to 5, maybe 6 hours. Then direct sunlight. I mean, but my review on it, is it worth it? Like I said, it depends on you and what you want to use it for. You cannot use that in a shower tent. It has to be really high for you to be able to get up underneath it. If you don't fill it up all the way, say fill it up halfway, 2.5 gallons, it would have been a lot warmer. But 5 gallons, it's just too much. So, once again, it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to make one of these, I'm not saying make one, but if you want to, all this is a 2-liter bottle, soda bottle. I wrapped it in electrical tape. There's a little bit left at the bottom. You can see I didn't wrap. I wrapped it as high as I could. Just the lid and some holes drilled in it. And when I filled it with water, I put the lid on. And like I said, if you have a solid lid that you don't have holes in it, put that on there. It'll keep the water, heated better. And I just put a piece of electrical tape over here. I have created numerous do-it-yourself showers, but I've never tried to make one that's solar, that's heated by the sun. So I figured, you know what? We bought this bag. I want to see if I can make one and make one better and make one that people can make at home. This is what I came up with. It works extremely well. Anyway, that's it. I apologize. This video is massively long. Once again, I wouldn't recommend these, any of them, unless you only fill it up halfway, then maybe. But 5 gallons of water sitting outside, like I said, if you put a 5-gallon bucket outside, I don't care if the bucket's metal, a paint bucket, a metal paint bucket that's black. Even if you set that outside with 5 gallons of water in it and put the lid on, it's not going to be hot water. So, that's up to you. Do I recommend it? No. Do I recommend any of those? No. I recommend making something that holds smaller amounts, and you can buy these showers smaller. If you're going to buy one of these showers, get a smaller one. Don't get the 5-gallon. It takes way too much to heat it. I didn't even start filling warmish water. I mean, the water was warm at the bottom. It was about the same temperature as the 2-liter, and the 2-liter and the 1-liter, like I said, I put out an hour and a half later. So, I don't recommend these shower bags. Once again, you can't use them in a shower, a pop-up shower tent. There's no way. 2, they're massively, extremely heavy. I mean, I struggle getting that thing up. And 3, the way this one's built, if you get it high enough to stand under, you're not going to be high enough to turn it off and on. So to use this, even if it warmed the water up, you'd have to tie it on a rope, start to lift it up, turn the shower on, finish lifting it up, and then tie that rope off to something to keep it up. And the whole time your shower's going to be going, and you're going to be losing your water. as far as the shower bags go, I've seen worse. This one is heavy duty. It's built very well as far as the material, but I don't recommend any of them. I recommend if you need a shower, then you just make one yourself. If you want a solar shower, great, fine. Paint it black. Get a 3 liter, get a 2 liter bottle, something you can handle, something that's not extremely heavy. I wouldn't paint it. I would use electrical tape, because when you squeeze that bottle, you want that bottle to have some give so you can get the water out. Once again, it's my review. You may disagree. If you disagree and you like them, good for you. I understand it was only $5. But I could buy like 6 2 liters with $5 and they'd be full of soda. So, anyway, once again, this video is super long. I apologize. This is my review. Hope you'd enjoyed it, and everybody have a good day.